ערב טוב לכולם, אנחנו רוצים להתחיל. And now I'm going to move to English because this is a hybrid event. We have about 40 different guests from North America with us here. So welcome to the 2025 Asper Prize competition. So good evening, everyone. My name is Amnon Dekel. I'm the co-founder of ASPER-HUJI Innovate, and I'm very happy to be here. I think we're really happy to be here, especially because of the fact that we should have had this competition back in June as part of a much larger board of governors, and we are happy that we are finally able to do this today. So thank you very much. So it's very moving to be part of this 100-year legacy at the Hebrew University with the Asper Prize now in its 4th year, and the award winner with the title of the University Rising Startup of the Year. This competition is possible thanks to the generous donation of the Asper Foundation, who are with us here today, alas, but over a Zoom link. They were here in June with a lot of other people, and then found their way back to home. It took quite a while, and one day they're going to tell us about that. But first, for those of us who might not know us, let me briefly introduce ASPER-HUJI Innovate, the Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship at the Hebrew University. So our goal is to leverage the innovation potential that exists at the Hebrew University in order to solve substantial problems via entrepreneurship. We inspire students, faculty, staff, and alumni to be entrepreneurial, supporting 23 student-led innovation communities that have organized hundreds of events with thousands of participants since 2019. We teach entrepreneurship through university courses, with over 5,000 students who have participated today, over 850 students this semester alone, gaining essential knowledge and skills. Notably, by the way, one group even launched a startup that raised over $40 million after graduation. Unfortunately, they don't come under the assume issue. And finally, we support both business startups and social ventures with 128 teams in our extracurricular programs, raising more than $86 million since 2019. Before you continue, we'd like to extend our heartfelt thanks. So first, a special thank you to Gail Asper, to her brothers, Leonard and David Asper, to Anita Wartzman, the president of the Asper Foundation, and of course to Shai Abramson, their representative here in Israel. Thank you. We would also like to extend a great thank you to the HUJI Innovate Executive Management Team. Sorry, to the Hebrew University Executive Management Team. Of course, President Asher Cohen, who's here with us today, to Rector and President-elect Tamir Shefer, to Vice President and Director General Yishai Frankel, and Vice President for Strategy and Diversity, Professor Muna Khoury, and Professor Oron Shagir, Head of International here at the University. Your ongoing support makes all of this possible. Sorry? Oh, don't worry about it. I'm just now going to talk about the Ambassador Yossi Gal. And thank you as well to Ambassador Yossi Gal, to Ram Semo, to Brenda Needle-Shimoni, which I've seen here, from our Advancement Division, and to Rami Kleinman and Debbie Dankoff from the Canadian Friends, to Nigel Solomon and Alan Jacobs from the British Friends, to Joshua Rednick, Clive Kabachnik, Monica Lobel, and Judith Sheckman from the American Friends. Your guidance and help has been essential for our success. We would also like to thank Professor Aaron Palmon, Vice President for R&D and Chair of our Steering Committee, to Professor Oded Shosayov, the Chair of our Academic Committee, to Professor Shlomo Magdassi, who we saw in the movie, and of course to all our Steering Committee members for your continued support. Thank you. Finally, a thank you and a welcome to Alon Natanzon, the new CEO of Yesum. Welcome on board to Hebrew University. We look for many years of collaboration with you. Now, this year, as we celebrate 100 years of academic leadership and innovation at the Hebrew University, it is my great honor to invite the president of the Hebrew University, Professor Asher Cohen, to say a few words. Sir.
Hello to everyone that Amnon mentioned, and I'm not going to repeat all of them. I'll tell you a story before I'll say something about the event. I often travel in the world, and people approach me, universities, highly respected universities, and they ask me, what's your secret? How come you are so innovative? Is it being recorded? I'll say it anyways. The truth is, I have no idea. Now, I have two approaches. One, sometimes I start blah, blah about what we do, and sometimes I honestly say, I don't really know, but I do know one thing. We have this relatively unique culture, whatever that might be, and whatever ingredients there are in that culture that lead to it. And that's why we've been innovative ever since we started the university. But we cannot relax, and we cannot think that we'll forever continue to be that way. We simply cannot. The world is changing, the world is developing, lots of talents around, and one thing that is clear is that you need to have a real drive for innovation in order to have it. And so what we did when we realized that, we had the ASPER-HUJI Innovate to come along to join ISUM that we have already in our midst. And we established here in this campus all kinds of assets for innovation. We have the new innovation park of companies just near to us as one good example. And the combination of all of those things with the guidance by HUJI Innovate, ASPER-HUJI Innovate, is really the driving force to get us to the next innovation and to make us stay as a leader in the innovation world. We are, by the way, leaders in some other parts as well, but in the innovation world. And I want to say a few things to the Asper Foundation and Gail in particular. I'm innovative, I got it out here. Gail, let me break the news to you. You have also a spirit of innovation. You always have that flow from the well that comes around and shows itself all the time in innovative ways. So it's really fitting that your foundation, alongside your brothers, fund this ASPER-HUJI Innovate, and I'm foreseeing a long-term collaboration for many years to come. And now I'm looking forward to the competition.
Thank you, Asher. Now I would like to introduce Gail Asper. Gail Asper is the chair and trustee of the Asper Foundation. She was born and raised in Winnipeg, Manitoba. After practicing corporate and commercial law, she worked with her father, Israel Asper, in his media business, and then became president of the Asper Foundation, her family's private charitable foundation. In addition to supporting many Canadian and Israel Jewish community projects, she currently serves as the chair of the Asper Foundation's board, through which she spearheaded the creation of the Canadian Museum for Human Rights, which opened in 2014. Gail supports and has been involved with countless Hebrew University endeavors. Her generosity has been extended to the Rothberg Overseas School, to the Asper Scholarships for Canadian Students, the Asper Center for Entrepreneurship at the Business School, and of course, to ASPER-HUJI Innovate. Gail received an honorary doctorate from the Hebrew University in 2014, and she was awarded the Order of Manitoba and has been inducted as an officer of the Order of Canada. Gail and Dr. Michael Patterson have been married for 40 years and have two sons, Stephen and Jonathan, and one grandson. Please, Gail.
Okay, oh yeah, hopefully you can hear me. Okay, not too echoey. Well, thank you, Amnon, and thank you, Asher. It is an honor to be here tonight. Of course, we'd much rather be here in person, but thank you to the folks who've made, through the power of Zoom, this event possible, so we're not delaying this any further. Okay, am I being heard? Okay, well, I don't know. Okay, thumbs up if I'm being heard. Somebody give it. Okay, good, because I can't hear myself. Perfect. My parents, Babs and Izzy Asper, were huge Zionists, and also my dad was a pathological entrepreneur. So this is a perfect project that I know he would have loved to have been a part of, because he saw that innovation was a way to build a country and define a country. And I think, as Asher alluded to in Amnon, this is really a defining feature of what it is to be an Israeli. Innovation is absolutely de rigueur. And it's amazing to me that this innovation is still going on, even with what's going on in Israel. I know from my 2 weeks in Israel during the Israeli missile crisis, I've got my Jerusalem home front alert app on. I know it still goes off when you guys are getting up in the middle of the night. And so even with worry and sleep deprivation, you're still finding a way to solve the big problems of the world. Just going through all the finalists that we have here before us, whether it's supporting public health and innovation in climate technologies, new approaches to transportation, developments in agriculture, and field of medical technology, it is truly inspiring to see how all of these are addressing a different need. I love the diversity of the finalists this year, and I really just want to thank Amnon and the entire ASPER-HUJI Innovate team for fostering a space where this kind of innovation can flourish and be supported. To all of the teams who are participating this year, I congratulate all of you. You're all winners in my heart, of course, and I look forward to the competition.
Thank you, Gail. That was very, very important for us to hear, and we want you to know that this is a bi-directional relationship. We love working with you, and we want to work with you for many, many years. I would like now to invite Anita Wartzman, the president of the Asper Foundation, to say a few words. Anita earned her law degree and business degree from the University of Manitoba. She is a serial entrepreneur with a passion to build new businesses and accelerate growth. She was the president of an agricultural tech company that went public in 2021 and led a team that launched the first voluntary carbon sequestration and nitrogen reduction programs for farmers in Canada. Anita, I think we need you here to do some programs with us. She previously had her own company that provided corporate development services to public and private companies, including acquisitions, equity raises, financing, advice regarding transactions, and business strategy. She was also a founding shareholder of a startup media marketing company that grew to $25 million of revenue and was ultimately sold. Prior to her business career, she practiced law, specializing in tax and mergers and acquisitions. She is active in the local volunteering community, supporting many Jewish causes in Winnipeg. Please, Anita.
Thank you. Shalom. Tonight, as we gather to celebrate the spirit of innovation and entrepreneurship through the Asper Prize, we're reminded that in Israel, innovation does not wait for the perfect moment. It rises precisely when times are toughest. Since October 7th, the team at ASPER-HUJI Innovate has stood at the intersection of crisis and creativity, from sending basic supplies to families in the North and South to launching programs that help students and staff process, speak out, and step up. Resilience has become a daily reality. In fact, it has soared. This year, 50 teams applied to the Asper Prize competition, reflecting such a diverse spirit across biotech, ag tech, AI, digital health, climate, and more. We are so proud that this year, ASPER-HUJI Innovate continued to break new ground, notwithstanding the adversity that you faced. You launched Israel's first safety and security tech accelerator, IRIS, together with national partners and ministries. You expanded global ties, welcoming the president of Ecuador to sign a landmark innovation agreement. You led a social hackathon, uniting Arab and Jewish entrepreneurs to tackle real community challenge. And you reached a milestone. 5,000 students, as Amnon said, have now studied since 2021. None of this would be possible without the leadership of Dr. Amnon Deckel, and the entire ASPER-HUJI Innovate team. Their vision and dedication has inspired innovators to create and lead for 5 years now. As an ag tech startup entrepreneur with a lengthy background, I'm so grateful that the Asper Foundation promotes this important initiative. I know firsthand how challenging it is to do a startup, how long it takes, and how you need people to back you and help you. So I'm grateful to be here today. From reading all of your pitch decks, this is going to be such a challenging decision. I wish I could be like those parents who lets everybody win. Tonight we celebrate not just the finalists and winner, but the belief that in the face of hardship, innovation can thrive and our community can grow. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much, Anita. So now we're going to continue, and we're going to enter into the actual competition phase. And in order to do that, I'm going to hand you over to Lihi Nahum, who's our Entrepreneurship Programs and HUJI Innovate POC Fund Manager. Thank you.
Thank you, Amnon. Hello. I am excited to kick off the finals of the 2025 Asper Prize competition. We have 5 finalists here, and at the end of the event, one of them will be named the Hebrew University Rising Startup of the Year for 2025 and receive a cash prize of 100,000 shekels. 50 startups applied to the competition and went through a careful selection process, including a semifinals competition for the 10 top companies. Today, we are proud to present the 5 finalists. The finalists that will be on this stage in just a few moments are making waves in various fields: healthcare, transportation, energy, and the food industry. So, how is it going to work? Each startup will have 3 minutes, that's it, to pitch their startup and tell you what makes their startup innovative and impactful. Once they pitch, there will be 2 minutes of questions from our esteemed panel of judges, who will be scoring the startups on the following criteria: potential for large-scale positive impact, level of innovation, problem-solution fit, and lastly, pitch quality. It is also important to note that our judges have received materials from the startups, so they are not seeing this for the first time. With that, I am happy to introduce you our panel of judges. Gail Asper, Chair and Trustee, the Asper Foundation. Anita Wartzman, President of the Asper Foundation. Alon Natanzon, CEO of Isum, the technology transfer company of the Hebrew University. Professor Yossi Paltiel, Dean of the Faculty of Natural Sciences at the Hebrew University. And Avia Weiner-Chen, Director of Partnerships and Investor at Fresh Fund VC. I'm happy to let you know that you in the audience will also have a say in who's crowned winner. After all 5 startups have pitched, we will explain to you how to vote. So, without further ado, let's get the show on the road. Congratulations to all of our finalists. The first presentation will be by Danny Weiss, co-founder and CEO of Wonder Veggies.
Hello, everyone. I would like to start with, where's the clicker? Sorry. You can start the 3 minutes count from now. Hello, everyone. I would like to start with a quick question. How many of you ate fruits or vegetables today? Please raise your hand. Wow, that's almost 100%. I was asking, how about in the past 24 hours, and how about in the past 3 days? I guess that's all of us. Now, what if I told you that you could enjoy all your favorite fruits and vegetables packed with the health benefits of probiotics? My name is Danny Weiss, co-founder and CEO of Wonder Veggies, and it is truly an honor to be here today as a finalist for the Asper Prize. 50% of the global population, that's 5 billion people, are suffering from digestive issues. That's a growing health crisis starting on our plates. Probiotics are beneficial bacteria associated with many health and wellness benefits through a positive impact on our gut microbiome. These include regulating the digestive system, boosting the immune system, and much, much more. The three main probiotics consumption opportunities are dairy products, fermented food, and food supplements. Unfortunately, many consumers can't consume them due to various limitations. So, what if nature's most basic food, fruits and vegetables, could heal us from within? Introducing Wonder Veggies, we have developed the first ever patented technology and liquid formulation easily applied on fresh fruits and vegetables pre and post-harvest using standard spraying techniques, enriching them with live probiotics. Like Intel embeds powerful processors into computers and laptops, we embed the power of probiotics into fresh fruits and vegetables. So the probiotics are penetrating inside the tissue of the produce, providing them natural protection against wash and gastric acidity, and the required fibers for an optimal colonization in our gut, making fruits and vegetables the most effective delivery system for probiotics. We are not just enhancing nutrition, we are addressing 50% of the global population that are suffering from digestive issues. Addressing a 1.5 trillion fresh fruits and vegetables market, and we are doing that with a purpose, addressing three very important SDG goals, and I'm especially proud in having more than 50% women employees and founders in our company. This is not just a vision, it's already a motion with executed commercial agreements and MOUs, launching revenues this year with strong economics. We are poised to capitalize on a $3 billion annual revenue opportunity. This could not be achieved without a great team of incredible people, both partners and colleagues, visionaries and executors alike. We need your vote to let nature, most basic food, heal us from within. Come join our revolution. Thank you. Questions? Yes, please.
Microbiome, so even the yogurts or whatever usually do not do anything, of course, other than an advertisement. So how do you know that it will stay stable in the gut?
So probiotics have decades of clinical studies behind them.
Yeah.
Companies like Danone and others. What we're doing is basically providing the most effective delivery system for probiotics. For example, we have conducted a study in the Technion, just because the lab is not existing here, comparing Danone Actimel with our probiotic lettuce. And the result was that since the probiotics in the Danone Actimel are free-flowing, they don't get the protection against the acidity of the stomach, and just very little reaches our gut. And with the lack of fibers, the prebiotics, which is the probiotics food, they do not colonize well. As opposed to that, the leafy greens that we have tested there basically allow the probiotics to embed inside the tissue, which gave them much better protection against the acidity of the stomach. So most of that reached the gut, and they were colonizing much better. So at the end of the day, they provide better bioavailability and better health benefits compared to dairy products, which is the largest probiotics market, and of course compared to food supplements, which we have tested too.
Hi, can you please share a little bit about your go-to-market strategy and method of distribution?
Absolutely. So since we've already executed 2 commercial agreements, I can elaborate a little bit of that. So our product, the liquid solution, is sold to growers. And we are initially working with large growers who own a brand. And in the US, this is packaged. Most of the fresh produce is packaged. So the package is a billboard to tell the story. We've already executed an agreement with California Giant Berries. They're a very large berries grower. They grow 100 million pounds of blueberries every year, and we are launching with them probiotic blueberries comes middle of 2026 with a large commercial order. Thank you.
Thank you, Danny. For the next presentation, I am happy to invite Marat Maayan, founder and CEO of Aerovation Technologies.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having us here. And I will start with, let's talk about climate. And let's talk about real heavy lifting of the climate. Because many talking about climate, and most of them like to have it as a climate sus. But in the reality, dealing with climate, it's really dealing with heavy emitters, with hard to abate industries. And this is just an example. All of us like to have clean hydrogen from water. Unfortunately, we're not there yet. And most of the hydrogen produced from natural gas. 1 ton of hydrogen will emit 10 tons of CO2. On the other side, of course, you have a nice picture from the Mishor Rotem near the Dead Sea of ICL. Don't look on the mining, just look on the horizon of this picture. You will see those gray-white mountains. Those not mountains, those actually piles of waste gypsum. Okay, so Aerovation, actually taking those two problems of emissions and waste, industrial waste, and converting them to available products. So we have a very limited time, and I will show a short video to try to cover this 8 years of R&D that started in the Kazali Institute here with Yoel Sasson, and achieved to the point that now we are building a sites and scaling up sites.
The year is 2050. Our world is clean and thriving, thanks to decisions made decades ago to embrace Aerovation's low-carbon hydrogen production technology. This approach has created a unique synergy between sectors within a circular economy, aligning energy production with industries like fertilizers, metals, and concrete. Our journey began in 2017 with the scaling of our mineralization technology. In 2022, Israel became one of the first countries to adopt Aerovation's groundbreaking CCUS technology, setting the stage for a greener economy by significantly reducing CO2 emissions at the ICL plant. By 2024, Aerovation expanded its carbon capture technology with demonstration plants in both Japan and Israel. Backed by government support and major corporations, Aerovation has reshaped the industrial landscape. This technology not only reduces CO2 emissions, but also creates valuable byproducts, such as calcium carbonate for permanent CO2 storage and sulfuric acid for diverse industrial applications. Aerovation has reduced costs and opened new markets, further expanding its impact. By 2035, Aerovation's presence reached Morocco and the USA, enabling low-carbon hydrogen production while transforming toxic phosphor gypsum waste and prevents millions of tons of CO2 emissions annually. Now in 2050, our environment is cleaner, industries are thriving, and the future is brighter, proving that visionary decisions drive meaningful change. Join us in leading the next industrial revolution with Aerovation's clean energy solutions.
So, because of the limited time that we have, and maybe in the question I will be able to answer more, the innovation of us, not only bringing technology, it's actually creating a new value chain, a low carbon value chain by synergetic approach of emitter and fertilizers. This emitter can be cement, as you saw, but in the Israeli use case, we are actually going to be doing it with the low carbon hydrogen production with the natural gas company. The team is very heterogeneous, coming with a lot of experience, bringing a lot of years of knowledge to the table, and not only scientific side, but also deployment side of scaling up the sites. We are now building, and actually this month we signed the agreement with ICL. So the site now started to scale at the Mishor Rotem as well in Nagoya in Japan. Thank you.
Hi,
Hello.
2 questions.
Please.
Is there any regulatory barrier? And second, what is the business model behind it?
Okay. So there is regulatory barriers on the end products. I will start from the second question, okay? Our business model not relying just on credits, okay? We not believe that it's stable to build a long-run business just relying on carbon credits. So carbon credits is one of the revenue streams, and in most of the cases, it's kind of added to the product. You're not enjoying it directly. So we are supporting, for example, in the ICL, or let's say the Mishor Rotem, we're seeing Mishor Rotem to become a blue hydrogen valley. Hydrogen is going to be produced, some cost of the hydrogen, in this case, we're going to be in a JV of the hydrogen as well. It's already under agreements. But the hydrogen cost of making it from gray to blue, make it low carbon, this is one of the revenue streams. The other 2 revenue streams are going to be the calcium carbonate and the sulfuric acid. So we are on materials in very short logistics because most of the materials will be consumed locally. ICL consume 2 million tons of sulfuric acid every year that they're producing. They're taking the sulfur from South Africa, shipping it to here with trains, with all the logistics, burning it to make sulfuric acid. So all of that will be solved by consuming, or actually recovering all those materials that today piled. Now the world piled 7 billion tons globally already. 300 million tons piled every year. So this is on the business side. We are looking, or we are preferring, it's kind of a little bit hybrid, we're preferring to be in a JV structure with those big giants. Okay, enjoying from an equity position of the sites. In some places it's more challenging, in some places it's less. From the environmental point of view, just taking gypsum, this is very soluble material, with a lot of impurities, and make it to a calcium carbonate, that it's 250 times less soluble, it's a huge thing. And this is why the environmental safety department is also supporting now the scale up at Mishor Rotem, and this is, we are kind of rolling now things forward with a big kind of first small commercial sites. Thank you.
So usually when you use green energy, you solve, or you do green things, you solve one area and the problem goes to another way, like batteries and so on. Where, here you lose a lot of electricity. So where is the problem?
Okay, so in this case, I think the challenge of us wasn't on the technology level. Okay, the technology, you need technology, it's nice, it's not enough. We put a lot of effort in the last 3 years to that the innovation element will become the one that bringing the 2 elements to drink from the same bucket. Okay, and this was the major challenge, how you take those different conglomerates to collaborate together. And we managed to anchor it now in fully committed agreements. On one hand, we have ICL in Israel, and on the other hand, we have NewMed Energy from the Leviathan reservoir, so with the purpose to support each other. So we have, I see, when I'm looking on the world, and I see these 7 billion tons of problems of gypsum that was piled, I see it as opportunities. It's opportunities to bring heavy emitters, industrial, hard-to-abate industries to consume this problem that was created for the last decade or more. Okay? I hope that I managed to answer a little
Partly.
bit. Partly.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Marat. You guys want to ask something? Okay.
No.
No? Okay. So thank you, Marat. The third presentation will be by Yuval Almugi, CEO of Harp Diagnostics.
Hi, everyone. We all understand the value of medical data in improving patient outcomes. And in the growing field of home monitoring, we've seen plenty of innovation, but mainly around blood. But one critical area is still left behind: stool-based monitoring. Why? Simple. No one likes to deal with poo, right? Einstein once said, "In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity." So we've identified this opportunity as the perfect place for us to start. We're turning the factor into an X factor with a clean and automated solution for stool-based home monitoring. Our initial focus is IBD, inflammatory bowel disease, better known as Crohn's and colitis, a chronic condition with cycles of inflammation, flare-ups, and remission. This can lead to severe physical and emotional consequences and long-term complications like colon removal surgery, cancer, and more. But all this can be prevented with early detection of flare-ups and optimal disease management. But the current monitoring options are unreliable, inconvenient, or expensive. Our solution is a fully automated, easy-to-use, and rapid remote patient monitoring platform. It is designed for minimal user dependency and high compliance. It has three main elements: a disposable, user-friendly sample collector, an automatic testing system, and a user app. The process starts with a new seamless sample collector in a no-see, no-touch, no-smell method. Next, the collected sample and a disposable test cassette are easily loaded into our testing system, and that's it. The automatic system does all the rest, and within minutes, the test result is presented to the user and securely uploaded to the cloud for physician access. Additional patient data is also collected for AI-based flare prediction at a later stage. Our go-to-market strategy is B2B and B2B2C through physicians intended for use in the clinic for diagnosis and monitoring, and at home for monitoring. Our annual market potential is over $2 billion for our first indication, IBD alone, but our platform has a potential to expand to many other conditions, such as irritable bowel syndrome, colon cancer, and more. We have an approved patent and 2 other pending patents. In addition, we have a blue ocean opportunity to be the first to be aligned with the FDA guidelines in our category. And this has also been confirmed at a positive pre-sub meeting we had with the FDA. HARP is the winner of the 2025 Shark Tank competition of the American Crohn's and Colitis Foundation, a great recognition for us. Our team brings decades of experience in technology, business development, medical research, and clinical trials. The Asper Prize will be a great honor for us and a real boost for our efforts to bring this innovation to market. We invite you to join us on a journey to unlock this hidden data and improve quality of life for millions. Thank you.
So, you know, I don't see exactly how would you go to the market, because Crohn's start, let's say it's a teenage usually time or age, or when you're older at 40, 50, and usually when you start to suspect that you have Crohn, you're already in the hospital, and you can do very easily one of those tests. And I don't think you will put it in every house to check Crohn's or whatever, so I don't really see how when you go to the market.
Right. So actually, we, as I said, we're targeting monitoring of diagnosed patients as the first indication, which means, as you said, it's a disease that is diagnosed at early age, so it's a lifelong journey, and these patients have cycles of inflammation, and every time it's it has a real impact, bad impact on the lives. And if you can detect the early signs of a new flare-up, the doctors can treat it, and, to keep it small and to have longer remissions. This is actually what we're targeting. So diagnose patients and monitoring at home. Later on, we'll move also to diagnosis in the clinic.
Again, two questions. What is the regulatory pathway? Is it going to be a de novo, or,
Right.
or do you have a predicate? Second, who is expected to pay for it?
Okay. So for the first question, the regulatory pathway, it will be de novo from the simple reason that it's a blue ocean in the States. There is nothing like that. What they have in the States is only lab tests. So yes, so it will be de novo. And the second question, who's expected to pay? So basically, we'll partner with virtual care companies in the States who work with big employers and with payers. So there's also reimbursement in place in the States and in other countries. So it will be a combination of these pathways, and yeah. So this is basically the pathway.
We have a question from you.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, I had a question just on the cost, the actual cost compared to the normal little paper tests that people have been using.
The relative cost? Yeah, so it will be the same cost as existing costs. We're keeping the same low cost of manufacturing, of actually the design of all elements takes into consideration the cost of existing tests, leaving a nice margin. And this is part of our innovation, how to do it to keep the cost low, but to do a very seamless process for an innovative product.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Yuval. For the next presentation, I am happy to invite Alberto Mandler, CEO of Direct Train Systems.
Thank you. Happy to be here. So my name is Alberto Mandler. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Direct Trains. As you know, planes are able to connect on the run for refueling, and the aircraft are able to connect to other aircraft at 30,000 kilometers per hour. But why trains are unable today to couple at high speed? This is exactly what we do. We bring technology from the aerospace to be able to connect trains at high speed. But is there any gain from that, right? This is a good question. So actually it's not intuitive, but there is a lot of gain to be able to couple and decouple trains at high speeds. For passenger, for freight, and also for parcel. Today, parcel delivery is being done mainly by truck. 12% of the congestion of the road is because of those trucks. We are able to bring them to trains. Using connecting trains, we're able to save more than 1 billion shekels to the Israeli railways, improving the service from Haifa to Tel Aviv by 4x, and reducing the energy consumption of it. Again, not intuitive. In 3 minutes, impossible to explain, but I will be happy to explain anyone that wants to do it later on. The problem of parcel delivery is a big problem, and you see the big countries are struggling to find a good solution to parcel delivery with huge projects that they are very green-oriented at the beginning, but at the end, if you see the results, are very problematic in terms of pollution, building, real estate, and things like that. We have coupled the best team for that. We are bringing a lot of experience from the aerospace industry. We were actually responsible for their fueling in the Air Force, the Israeli Air Force. So what we do, how we do it, we want to do it a very smooth way to integrate our technology. We provide a car that when you connect this car to the existing train, it will be able to help the driver to do the connection and disconnection on the run at high speed. Very incremental, very simple, no regulation requirements. So we have conducted many cases, very studies to verify that there is no regulation change required. A lot of work to validate, both for one of the biggest certification companies in Europe, but also we conducted a field test in France to connect and disconnect trains at high speed, very smooth, very easy to adopt. We are raising $4.4 million, and we have invested until now about $1 million. And we want to do a prototype at our beta customers to be able to show the connection and disconnection of train at high speed. Thank you very much.
Hi.
Hi.
So this is a very conservative industry.
Yes.
How are you planning to penetrate it? And also, how are you planning to face the risk, like cyber risk and other risks that may appear?
Okay. So first of all, yes, it's a very conservative industry. That's why we have developed this model that we provide a card that helps the train to connect and disconnect. So it's a very easy to install, easy to test. No changes in the railway, no changes in the infrastructure, no changes in the signaling system, and no changes in regulation. So it's plug and play, and this is very important. From cyber point of view, so we are also expert in cyber, and the idea is that the car is a self-contained car. So everything is inside the car itself, okay? No external connection to it whatsoever. Okay, so it's an independent component that it's standalone and help the driver to do the connection and disconnection. This is for regulation purposes because we don't want to change the regulation. We don't add autonomous capabilities, but for the next product, we will do it because Europe is working in autonomous trains and we will be able to ride the wave. Yes?
So the thing is that I can understand why airplanes don't want to land or connect, but I don't. What is the revenue but not stopping a train? Train always stops. It stops.
As I said, it's not intuitive, okay? And we have done some work, but I will give you a couple of examples, okay? So today, the limitation of the line is the safety margin, safety distance between two trains. Okay, so if I want to provide several services in the same line, I need to keep 1.5 kilometers between the two trains. This is the limit of the capacity of the line. Today, the best technology is about 17 trains per hour. This is the capability, and if you want to multiplex between different services, you have limit service that you can provide for the different services. When you are able to connect, if you have two sources, one Ashdod and one Jerusalem, coming into Tel Aviv, they consume 2 of those 17 slots per hour. But if I'm able to connect them on the run, they will be able to couple before entering Tel Aviv and enter together. In this way, you use one slot for the two services. It is much more than that. Again, it's very difficult to explain. Another thing is that you have a suburban train coming from Haifa to Tel Aviv. As I said, we can quadruple the service on Haifa. Every service that you provide in an intermediate station, a train that starts from Binyamina, hurts the service in Haifa. But now they will be able to couple on the run to a train that is coming from Haifa and connect to the train that is coming from Binyamina. Okay? In the same line, same infrastructure, no changes in signaling, no changes in infrastructure. Okay? Again, not really intuitive. I'll be happy to explain and show you some results. We were able to reduce by 60% the energy consumption of a given line, Haifa Tel Aviv, for the same service, or quadruple the service in Haifa and reduce the time to destination from Haifa to Tel Aviv to 35 minutes. Who will use cars if you have that?
And the business model behind it?
So we provide the car. The car is based on the most common simple car, which is called flat wagon. We install our system on it, okay? So we don't need to develop a wagon, certify it. It is certified, you can work with it, okay? And we provide the car, and we will charge an annual license per system of 150K euros per year.
No part from the savings?
No part from the saving.
Yeah.
So yes, I think in the future we will do ton kilometer, kilometer passenger. We will do per connections. We have potential to do several type of models, but we think that a simple license is good enough for now. And you know, there are 300,000 trains running in Europe. For each of them paying 150K euros, it's a nice revenue stream. Only for the Israeli railway, we can save more than 1 billion shekels per year. Okay? So imagine what we will do to the world. Yes. You're in mute. You're in mute. We don't hear you.
Mute. Terrible.
Oh.
I should know after 5 years. Any markets, you mentioned some of the markets that are already, they have these things. What competition is there for this, and any markets that wouldn't want this?
Okay, so to tell you the truth, in the US we are struggling a little bit because energy consumption doesn't seem to be very important for them now, and it's a pity, but this is the fact. In China, we are waiting to be more deployed because we are afraid from copying. We actually have 2 patents to save, but in China it's complicated. What was the first question, sorry?
Just the other competition.
Competition, yes, of course. So in Europe, they are, of course, identified the capacity of a line is the most important thing, or very important thing, because it's a lot of investment on the infrastructure and doesn't have really a direct ROI. The ROI is actually indirect for trains. And they are developing 2 technologies for improving capacity. One is called virtual coupling and the other one moving blocks. Both require autonomous train operation, so and also a huge change in the infrastructure itself. All the signaling system regulation need to be changed, so it will take a long time and it's a very long investment. We want to do it reuse, simple to use, and we call it solving a global problem with a local solution.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alberto. And last but not least, for the final presentation, I am happy to invite Or Chazan, co-founder and VP Product Development at CardioVia.
Hi, everyone. I'm Or, co-founder of CardioVia. So we all learned in school that our heart has 4 chambers, right? Well, today, I'm going to introduce you to the hidden 5th chamber of the heart. A space on the heart surface filled with untapped therapeutic potential, ready to transform cardiac care. Over the past 2 decades, we had major breakthrough in cardiology, starting from vascular access in the 50s to the imaging revolution in the 80s that eventually led to complex cardiac interventions from within the heart in the 2000s. And today, we stand at the edge of the next cardiac revolution, delivery of treatments on the heart surface. Many life-threatening arrhythmias begin right here on the surface of the heart, and therefore, treating them from this space can cut recurrence by 35%. However, most physicians don't go there. And why is that? Because current access tools to the heart surface require pushing a long needle blindly towards the beating heart. It's risky, it's outdated, and every 1 in 3 procedures result in heart puncture. And the consequences, millions of patients receive partial treatment or not at all. This is why we at CardioVia developed the VIA-1, a breakthrough system that allows safe access and delivery of treatments on the heart surface. Instead of pushing a long needle towards the beating heart, VIA1 brings the tissue to the needle. It gently lifts the tissue and using smart sensors and concealed needle to puncture it away from the moving heart, keeping the heart protected the entire time. And we already know it works. Our first in-human clinical study achieved 91% success with no serious adverse event and was chosen as a late-breaking clinical trial award by the American Heart Rhythm Society. The results were also published in top-tier medical journals, and now we are fully prepared for commercialization. Our innovation is protected by global patent portfolio. We're financially backed by Terumo Corporation, a global medtech leader, and we've already secured reimbursement coverage from the US government. In terms of regulation, we received the prestigious FDA's Breakthrough Device designation, and just now, CardioVia obtained full FDA clearance for its first pipeline indication, arrhythmias. This indication alone unlocks an initial market of $2.5 billion, and it's rapidly growing with double-digit CAGR. And backed by years of experience, we've got the perfect team to take it to the market. But arrhythmias are just the beginning. Safe access to the heart surface opens the door to a new class of cardiac therapies, from stem cell therapy for people that had heart attack, to targeted drug delivery and pacemaker implementation, all on the heart surface, giving millions of patients the chance to live longer and healthier lives, giving thousands of physicians the opportunity to treat better. This is the power of unlocking a new space, the fifth chamber of the heart, and this is what CardioVia is all about. Thank you. No questions.
Do you think it will be fully reimbursed by the payers?
That's a good question. So because we are breakthrough device designated by the FDA, we can join the NTAP program that gives us 2/3 reimbursement. If it costs $1,000, the hospital will get $600 reimbursement. So it's 2/3 reimbursement covered.
The difference will be covered by the patient?
Yeah, because we are saving part of the complications, because damage to the heart muscle, if you puncture it, it costs $80,000. So it's a small portion of the saving. This is the strategy of the price. But yes, it's very important that we will have reimbursement for the first 2 years of commercialization. Thank you. Yeah, sure. We can hear you.
Idea how many in the world would be able to, or maybe North America would be able to access or use this? I'm just trying to get an idea of the numbers of people that this could be impacting positively.
Yeah, so just for the first indication, which is arrhythmia, which is abnormal heart pace, just for the first indication.
Okay, now I'm not hearing anything.
Yeah. Can you hear me? No?
No.
No?
Okay, I just heard something.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm saying that just for the first indication, arrhythmias, which is abnormal heart pace, we're talking about 1 million patients that are going through these procedures that are not optimal. 1 million patients in Europe and US alone. And we're talking about a few more millions through the other indications.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
Is your plan to produce it yourself or to license it?
That's a good question. So at the beginning, we will need to show some cycle of cells. We will need to produce it with 3D printing or something like that. And then when we are going toward the scale up, we will need to come up with some strategic player and do it with him because he's much more efficient. So at the beginning, we are still doing it like quickly and very cheap, but at the end of the day, we will need to come up with some partnership with strategic player and do it in a much more efficient way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Now that the presentation are over, I'm happy to hand you over to David Goldstein, the Asper Prize project manager who has come directly from a reserve service in Gaza today.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Lihi. I'll wait for them to fix the mic. Thank you, Lihi. I hope you all enjoyed seeing these incredible startups and have been thinking about who you think deserves to win the Asper Prize this year. Now is the time for our judges and for you, our audience, to place your votes. So how do you vote? Simply point, hold on, there you go. Simply point your phone camera at the QR code on the screen. Yes, this is the time to take out your phones. The link will take you to a form where you can select the company you want to have your vote. When you're absolutely certain, click submit. Every audience member is limited to one vote, and you have until the countdown hits 0 to place your vote. You'll have exactly 3 minutes. Before you vote, here's a quick reminder of the startups you heard from today. Vote 1 for Wonder Veggies, who created the first ever patented technology that naturally adds gut-friendly probiotics to fresh fruits and veggies without altering their taste, texture, or shelf life. Vote 2 for Aerovation Technologies, who has created a cost-effective, scalable, and energy-efficient system that helps some of the world's most polluting industries capture and reuse carbon emissions in a way that's both profitable and good for the planet. Vote 3 for HARP Diagnostics, who has created a user-friendly, reliable, and affordable at-home patient monitoring platform for gastrointestinal conditions like IBD, Crohn's, and colitis. Vote 4 for Direct Train Systems, who transforms rail lines into smart, modular, low-emission networks without laying a single mile or kilometer of new track. And lastly, vote 5 for CardioVia, who have developed a new and safer way to treat heart disease by focusing on the outer surface of the heart. Good luck to all finalists. Because this is a hybrid event, our judges will now confer in the conference room next door with our judges in Canada. As you've seen, they've already done. The voting process. During this conference, I am now happy to invite Dr. Dan Marom, a friend and colleague from the Asper Center for Entrepreneurship at the Hebrew University Business School, to say a few words.
Shalom. I was told to start with a vote or a joke, so I have neither, but I have a very interesting announcement. I'd like to announce the winners.
עכשיו, בהזמנה מוקדמת, קונים גלקסי Z Fold 7 ומקבלים הכפלת נפח אחסון מתנה.
Sponsored by Samsung. And the winners are the top 5. Chapeau for all of you. I think that you are all winners. Chapeau. You all won. My name is Dan Marom from the Hebrew University's Business School. I'm very proud to be here. I haven't heard one name here. Amnon told about everyone that were leading this event, and I think that his name was missing, so kudos for Amnon and the team. Huge chapeau for all of what you've done. We're the second Asper Center. The Asper Foundation was very, very generous. And approximately 20 years ago, they launched the Asper Center at the business school. We're dealing with research, education, and impact. And we're launching an innovation competition, another one, by Daniel Recanati and Rhodium, with the generous help of Asper and others. We are about to back deep tech companies with a very generous investment, and it will be broadcasts to everywhere where you can have your podcast, TV, or whatever around December. I highly recommend you to join. Thank you so much, Amnon, for having me here, and best of luck to all of you. Toda.
Okay, so I've been notified that the crowd judging has been finished, and now we have the judges in the back room discussing who the winner will be. So while we're waiting for them, we'd like to take this opportunity to say thank you for some additional people. First of all, it's important for us to say thank you to our team. We couldn't leave here today without saying a big thank you to the wonderful team. Niva Treistman, Sharon Levite-Vaknin, Lihi Nahum, Orit Sagi, Tovit HaKohen, Lihi Ili, and Shira Gershoni, who's on maternity leave but had a large part at the beginning of this project this year. Of course, David Goldstein, who was the project manager. We'd also want to say a large word of thanks to our student coordinators and assistants. Nivin Maswade, Sarah Weiss, Ariel Aviram, Marwan Salaime, Tal Finkelstone, Ronnie Moses, Bar Cohen, Shir Meir, Shelly Gali, Jonathan Levine, and Lior Krautz. Thank you very much, guys. We want to say thank you to the great production team that is working here with us. So we want to say thank you to Jazzit and Replay. Great job, guys. Thank you very much. And of course, to Nathalie Asaraf. Where are you, Nathalie? Nothing would happen without you in this environment, so thank you very much, Nathalie. David, is the judging over? How are we doing? And Niveen, can you check with them?
No.
What's that? So, Niveen, can you check with them what's happening? Thank you. Is Shai Abramson here, by the way? I didn't see her. Okay, thank you. So we're all waiting. If I had a drum roll, I would run a drum roll around that. Two minutes? Okay. So 2 more minutes, everyone, and we'll have the winner for this year's, and then we're going to have the announcement of the winner for this year and a photo opportunity on screen. So, everybody, the judging process has finished. We've taken into consideration the crowd favorites. We've taken into consideration the judging. And there was a lot of discussion in the room, as you can see, but a decision has been made. So we'd like to invite Professor Asher Cohen on stage, and we will have Anita and Gail with us also. Everyone here? Okay, so the winner is for this year, Aerovation Technologies. We should stand near there so that we can see you with Gail. Yes. It's kind of difficult to do it this way. Gail and Anita are there.
Hi, Asher.
This was not an easy decision. All the teams are really, really excellent and great. There was a lot of discussions in the back room, but at the end of the day, a decision was made. Good luck. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone who came here to participate. Thank you, Asher. And hopefully see you here again next year.